Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and when I look back at what makes Halo games so special, it's how unique and contrasting all of the different environments are within a single campaign, such as water, sand, forest, snow, darkness, etc. One thing I thought Halo did particularly well in the early days of the franchise was embrace darkness, not just from a lighting perspective, but also from a perspective of this was a dark concept. And there is a modern example which I think goes really underappreciated in 343's Halo. With all that said, why does any of this matter, and what do I think Halo Infinite can do to really change the game? Not just add a new feature to Halo, but add a new dimension to Halo altogether. So sit back and let's get into it.
Ultimate Halo.
In Halo Combat Evolved, we start our journey peering through these narrow corridors, taking on our new enemies, but you'll notice that this mission does tend to serve as a tutorial to show the player how the mechanics works before opening you up to the expansive world of Halo. But in this mission, you experience a lot of darkness, and this is so you are aware of the flashlight mechanic, and it builds up such a level of atmosphere that I don't think has really been captured in the exact same way since. People always say that when one of your senses is taken away, the other's heightened and they become more sensitive as a result. This is why walking through these corridors in darkness makes you feel unrest. You don't know what's coming and you're cautious something might come without you expecting it. The same principle would stay with you in the long term as you traverse through the dense swamp of Alpha Halo, with radio signals and distant sounds making you question why the place is so different from everywhere else. It's not just the darkness with there being a lack of light, it's also the ambience scaring the life out of you. Halo 2 similarly followed in the same path later down the line, playing as the Arbiter whilst crawling through the tight corridors, whilst the Flood patrol this Forerunner facility. But going forward, I think that the future Halo games missed the literal and atmospheric darkness from Halo 1 and 2. It's clear that 343 are putting an emphasis on building a living, breathing world with Halo Infinite, and adding this contrast will be a huge step forward for Halo in general. We can see, judging from the Halo Infinite gameplay trailer, that there is a day-night cycle, and this brings huge opportunities to build upon the darkness and unique events that we've possibly never seen before. Just a quick one, only 32.2% of you watching Ultimate Halo are subscribed. What is all of this about? So if you love Halo news and Halo Infinite and anything just Halo really, subscribe to the channel, it would mean the world to me. Thank you. Why was that thank you so weird? So before we talk about the ideas I have for Halo Infinite, I tasked myself with finding times where 343 have managed to incorporate literal darkness into their games, and I found myself going straight towards Blue Team's mission in Halo 5. I was surprised that not many people talked about this part of the game, because after the Master Chief had his senior moment and pissed his pants in his armour, we saw him descend into total darkness in Argent Moon. We saw the Master Chief and Blue Team in dark corridors, much like Combat Evolved, and we saw the flashlight once again become a necessity. Yet, unlike other Halo games, Halo 5 actually made it pitch black. Normally games shy away from this for various reasons, whether it be TV settings or accessibility, but Halo 5 committed and it looked great. One key piece of feedback I'd probably give in Halo CE Anniversary's case, that it tried to make everything so much brighter, and whilst it does look pretty in my opinion, it took away from the idea that it was gloomy and that you weren't able to see far off in the distance. For me, but in Halo 5's instance, I thought it was a great touch, and not enough games do it anymore, and it fed brilliantly into the Hunter reveal. You can hear banging in the walls, or rattles moving through pipes that made you know that something was coming, to then be met with the Hunter later down the line in their reworked form. This is something we haven't seen in quite a while, and Halo Infinite should continue with this. As such, I think nighttime in Halo Infinite should be feared and actually an inconvenience to the player. One of my favourite game franchises is The Legend of Zelda, and when these games turn into night, particular enemies appear that make your life difficult. It then makes you have a sense of urgency to do what you need to do in time just to survive throughout the night. Perhaps the monsters could appear at night time to stalk you. Maybe elite stealth squads are lurking with active camouflage to sneak up on you to create jump scares, or even seeing patrols in the sky beaming down with lights, and then if you get noticed, hordes of enemies will converge on your position. If you also go back to Halo Combat Evolved, you will also notice the flashlight will only last for so long. In Halo 5, this was kinda just until it got brighter in the mission, which I don't think was as effective, and it would have been a really great opportunity to have it last so long and use it in the moments you really needed to. As a result, the player would be forced to use it sparingly, and it would be wasteful to potentially use it in a lit area and potentially punish the player if they didn't use it when it was needed. This would make Halo Infinite's gameplay feel alive in a way we've never seen before, and it could have endless ways to expand and change the world later down the line for post-release updates. It makes you as a player calculate and think twice before you do something, and I don't think Halo's ever had that timing urgency in that same way in the past. So hopefully 343, if you're listening, maybe that's an idea for later down the line. I hope so. But for today, this is just a quick video to see what all you guys think. Are you on board? How do you think Halo Infinite should implement darkness from previous games? Let me know in the comment section down below. Once again, my name is Jack Fletcher. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.